Welcome back, good people. Welcome back. It's been a minute. I apologize for that. You know how life is when you're working a 40-hour plus family. I know some of y'all probably know, can relate. But anyways, we're back. And before we get in to my new review, I have a couple things to go over. But as always, like, subscribe. Speaking of subscribe, we have hit 100 subscribers. There are 100 people that have subscribed to this channel. I love you very much. Thank you very much. You are helping me toward my goals of, growing this channel, growing the community, growing people who love music. So, thank you very much from the bottom of my itty bitty little rock and roll loving heart. So, like, subscribe, hit the Patreon page. Like I always say, let's get a community of like-minded, music-loving people going. And then, something new to talk about. You may have noticed that the channel name has changed. Instead of Tate's Garage, it is now Tate Clark Music. A broader spectrum of music-related things. This segment, these episodes will still be Tate's Garage. It'll be reviews from Tate's Garage, I guess. And then, one other thing is there's a brand new Etsy store with my own gear that I've designed for the channel that you can check out. There's hats, t-shirts, flip-flops, keychains. There's all kind of things coming into work. And ladies and gents, this is all working toward a goal of something bigger. Now, I don't want to announce what that is quite yet. I have a timeline, but please keep in mind that everything that funnels through the channel is for a bigger purpose. So there you go. There's that. Like, subscribe, hit the Patreon page, hit the Etsy shop, grab some swag, wear some strange dude's name on your chest. People will think you're cool. So today we're going to talk about Kid Rock's new album, Bad Reputation. Now, before I fire up the jams like I usually do, keep in mind there is not an edited version of this album like they had when I was in high school, where you could roll down to the Walmart and get the clean version. This is full bore F-bombs galore, and everybody knows how the kid rolls. I just want to put that out there before we get into it. So here we go. Bad Reputation by Kid Rock. So this released March 21st of 2022. It is 18 tracks and it runs an hour and 11 minutes and 36 seconds. That's one of the longest albums that we've reviewed here on the channel. And getting into this is Mr. Rock's, how many albums does Kid Rock have? Let's count them. 4, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 if you go all the way back to 1990, Grits, Sandwiches for Breakfast. Now, as most of you probably know, Mr. Rock is from Detroit, the Dirty D. He's very proud of that. His influences range from Hank to Skinner to Bob Seger to Kiss to Run DMC, hip hop, whatever you want to call it. I bring that up for this point. There are a couple of tracks, and there's two of them that we're going to talk about specifically when I get to my top three, that he mentions his kind of country, or there's a track where he's kind of dishing Nashville. And I have to agree with this cat, right? So he's talking about jamming Hank and shit like that. And I really feel like this is a guy that actually did that, right? So one thing I can't stand about top 40 country radio, and if that's your jam, move on. I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me. But I cannot stand these guys. It's like a modern country song right now if you're a male country singer, excluding maybe like your Stapletons or something like that. It's like they have to mention Crankin' Hank. Like, there's a Blake Shelton song, Come Back as a Country Boy or whatever, where he's like, you know, Hank cranking. Jason Aldean on his new album that I was going to review, but I really honestly just couldn't make it through it. It was like Hank cranking, talking about a jukebox that cranked Hank. You know, maybe these guys listen to that, right? Maybe they did crank Hank. Maybe they cranked Hank every fucking weekend of their life, and they know every Hank song known to man. Me, I crank Hank a lot. I probably know Hank songs that Hank's probably forgotten. If he ever sees this, I hope he doesn't call me out. He probably will never see it, so it's cool. But like, I've got my favorite Hank songs are nowhere near Family Tradition or anything like that. Like OD'd in Denver, All in Alabama. Those songs like High and Pressurized. You know, those are the songs that I love, right? I love deep cut Hank. He had a song on a recent album, like mid-2000s, called Waylon's Guitar that I think is brilliant, talking about his friend Waylon Jennings. So to get off the Hank thing, it just annoys the living shit out of me when modern country singers, you know, are sitting here screaming that they're cranking Hank. And they may, right? But I just feel like they don't. I feel like some songwriter in a room was like, we need a line. Oh, we haven't mentioned like pickup trucks, Hank and Skinner, right? So, anyways, Skinner's another band that I probably know songs that they have forgotten. Like my favorite Skinner song is the Railroad song off of Nothing Fancy. If you haven't heard that, look it up. But anyways, Kid Rock, bad reputation. So, what are my top three? I mentioned some of his influences, and the thing I want to say about this album is, yes, it has the Kid Rock rap tracks on it. It's got the typical Kid Rock, like, I don't give a fuck tracks on it. The first track on the album, Don't Tell Me How to Live, I think is super cool because he features a band called Monster Truck. Monster Truck is from Canada. If you have not checked them out, get off your ass and do it. They are rocking, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't had the chance to see them live, but I crank their stuff every now and then. He has a song called We the People. Now, I don't get political on this channel. We will never get political on this channel. But if you are a supporter of our current administration with President Biden, I say President Biden because he is our president. It's a respect thing. We the People is not going to be your jam. And as a matter of fact, some of the jams on this album are not going to be your jam if, you know, you're on that side. If you're in the Let's Go Brandon crowd, this be your jam, people. Anyways, my top three if I was going to give you this. So, as always, we're rocking the purple cup. My top three. So, number three would be My Kind of Country. Now, My Kind of Country is the fourth song on the album, and it runs 3 minutes 56 seconds. Now, the subject matter here is what I was speaking of in the intro to the video. He's talking about his kind of country. His kind of country as in the country, and his kind of country as in the genre of music. You know, he says that his kind of country is Trump, NAACP, NRA, you know, American loving, red-blooded, steak-eating motherfuckers, basically what he's saying. So I dig that. I dig how this has a Bob Seger feel to it. I did notice that this album is very, very, very Bob Seger-ish, like that Detroit rock, Nugent Seeger kind of thing. So yeah, my number three song is the number three song on the album, My Kind of Country. My second song on the album is kind of a tough one. I have to go with the title track, Bad Reputation, because to me, Bad Reputation is kind of classic Kid with the heavy rock guitar in the back. It is the fourth song on the album, and it's 4 minutes 10 seconds. Of course, this is again one of those tracks where he's like, he doesn't care. He's bragging on himself. It's standard Kid Rock. If you're into Kid Rock, this is the standard track off of the album. But it's piano rocking. Like I could hear like him and Bob Seger on stage with the Silver Bullet Band in like '77, sweat pouring off of them, like case deep in some Coors, just rocking this to an arena full of sweaty ass people, and it would be excellent, right? It would be awesome. Number one for me. This is going to be one that hurts some people's feelings. Let me throw that out there. The Nashville That I Know, or The Nashville I Know, song number 17, runs 3 minutes 39 seconds. This is talking about the current state of Nashville, Tennessee, with the songwriters. It just got really dark. With the songwriters and everything that's associated with that, and how pop country is. That's all I'll say. Go listen to the track, understand it. It's an abrasive track. I'm going to put that out there. Don't jam this with the kiddies in the car. And this, he's talking about the Hank thing, and I think he might be even referencing senior or junior. But either way, I agree. I agree with the cat. I agree with what he's saying. But hey, if you're into that, it's cool. If that's your career, that's cool. Maybe it's just hate because I'm sitting here and just got home from a fucking car factory. So anyways, Bad Reputation. An hour and 11 minutes, 36 seconds of standard Kid Rock FU American badass that we know that he is. What do I rate this? I rate it 4 jams out of 5. He's not breaking new ground here. He does an auto-tune thing on one song. I could have done without that. And I feel like, and maybe I'm being a little hypocritical, or I don't know, because whatever. But I think it, Cat's pushing 50. How many hoes are you fucking when you're 50? And maybe he rolls to a new one every night. That's his thing, whatever. But he's been, and he mentions it in a track, like he's been talking about hoes and bitches and all that for the last 20 years. I'm not really down with that. That ain't my thing. That's like one of my problems with the hip hop genre. But it's not my wheelhouse. If it's your wheelhouse, crank his shit up. Do your thing. Would I go see him in concert? I've seen him 2 or 3 times. Puts on a great show. If you don't realize how many instruments this cat can play, Kid Rock is a talented musician, regardless of what you think of his music. So I give this 4 out of 5 jams. It's not groundbreaking. It ain't horrible. But it's a good listen. Right? Riding around, windows down, cranked up. Follow this up with a little Hank. Get your Friday night right. Alright, ladies and gents, there it is. Kid Rock, Bad Reputation. As always, like, subscribe, Patreon page, Etsy shop. Thank you to the subscribers. And remember that music is love. Love is music. Stay safe. Keep rocking.
Of these jerk-offs and metros and debutante skanks, and get the Nashville out. No, bad.